All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. So, today we're going to do something different for poetry. We're going to start looking at some different types of poems, some that are kind of a little more fun to do, a little interesting. So, today we're going to focus on shape poems. All right, so today we'll identify and write our very own shape poems. So, what is a shape poem? A shape poem can also be called an outline poem. And this poem takes the shape of the object or thing that the poem is about. So you're going to be writing a poem in the shape of the object or the idea that your poem is going to be about. So here are some examples of some shape poems. Here's a simple example. You can see that the shape of the poem is a star, and the poem itself is written along the outline of the shape. So it says, "Stars are so bright, shining above us all, millions and billions, shining from dusk to dawn with silver light, so pretty." So there was the poem, and it was all made into the shape of a star, which is what the poem's about. It's pretty cool. This next poem is in the shape of a tornado, okay? So this poem's called In a Twist, right? Or a twister. "We felt the rain, wind, and hail, and then the thunder and lightning came. The winds gathered up and began to spin, like a spinning top sucking up dust like a vacuum cleaner. The twister went around and around like a merry-go-round. The gusts of air were picking up dust. It continued to roar loudly, destroying everything along the way. Soon it was gone." So that was really cool because this was a poem about a tornado or a twister, and the poet wrote the poem in the shape of a tornado. So you can see the lines kind of started out big up here, and then they got really small, like a real tornado would be small at the very bottom. And then we have this next poem was written by a child. So this poem's called Ice Cream by Bertha. So if we look here, and my eyes aren't so good, looks like she started around here. So this is a different shape poem. She kind of brought two different ideas into one poem. I mean, they're about ice cream, but she kind of broke it up into two pieces. "Sweet, cold, creamy cone. Crunchy flavors, milk, frozen desserts. Melting, 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 melting." Okay, so I know that was kind of small. I kind of had to zoom in there. So that was pretty cool. She kind of just described it. She used adjectives as her poem, and she made it in the shape of an ice cream. So that was her shape poem, which is pretty cool. All right, so there are some steps for creating a shape poem. So the first step, which is like in any poem creation, you have to think of something you're going to write your poem about, right? Think of an object or thing that you want to write about. Okay, so maybe jot some ideas down on a piece of paper, think about which one you like the best, and then you're going to decide on, you're going to make a shape for it. So then, and you don't have to do this step. If you think you want to skip this step, you can definitely do that. But maybe draw an outline of the object or the thing, so like just draw the line of it, so that way when you do write your poem, you can kind of follow that line. All right, so once you draw the outline of the object or the thing you're writing your poem about, you can write your poem on that outline that you drew. So once you finish writing the words on that outline, if you'd like, you can erase the outline, so that way when you erase it, you don't see any lines. You just see that the words create the shape. See how none of these have lines? They just create the shape. This one kind of does, but it's just how she colored it. And again, you don't have to color if you don't want to, but you definitely can. And you definitely don't have to erase. If you want to keep those lines there, that's fine as well. But it's just an option for you to do. So I figured I would do an example of writing a shape poem. So I'm going to just try to think real fast just to show you how I might do this. It could be something that interests me. It could just be something that pops to my mind. You know, it's a really sunny, warm day out today. You know what? I think about like going to like a carnival. Ooh, you know what I was thinking? I think I'm going to do my shape poem on cotton candy. So I'm going to just do my outline here. Okay, so I made my outline of cotton candy here. Let me move this down a little bit so you can see. All right, so now I have my outline, right? So that was step 2. Step 3 says that I have to write my poem. So I'm going to pick a place to start. I think I like to start at the top. So I'm going to think of something I can write about cotton candy, adjectives, descriptions, things I think about it. Let's just say, I can start with many colors, many flavors. All right, I said many colors, many flavors. I could say, okay, so I described that they come in lots of colors. I've described that they have lots of flavors. What about I did fluffy, kind of go down here, down the cone. I have to turn my board now, so we'll see what you can get started with. Fluffy, so if many colors, many flavors, fluffy. I'm going to write up here, fun to eat. Now, and I can start rhyming here because I wrote eat. I don't have to rhyme, but I think it might be kind of cool if I add some rhyming words. Fluffy, fun to eat. I could say a very sweet treat. So sweet and treat also rhyme. And you see I have just this little bit of space left. So I can think of like a couple words that I can fit in there to end my poem. Many colors, many flavors, fluffy, fun to eat, a very sweet treat. Maybe I'll put sticky hands. Now again, your poem, your shape poem does not have to rhyme. I just threw a few rhyming words in there, but do you see that I added, if I were to erase, I'm not going to erase because I know I'll probably erase most of my words. If I were to take my finger and erase this outline, all of my words would be in the shape of cotton candy. Okay, so that's how I did my shape poem. Now, again, yours could be totally different. You could use single words, you could use sentences, it could look any way you want. You just have to pick an idea or an object, think about it, think about how you would describe it or what you would write about it, and then you're going to put it in the shape of that object. So that way you can make a shape poem. So, with that being said, it is your turn. Okay, so I can't wait to see all these creative shape poems because I will tell you, shape poems are my favorite type of poem. So I can't wait to see all of these creative ideas that come from you guys. Good luck!